Once again, I'm honoring an agreement between Latoya and I in exchange for her donations towards the princess in Jamaica. I am making this video a topic of her own choosing. And I have remade this video because there were errors in the last video and I really don't like mispronouncing someone's name. And so I decided, out of respect for Sha'carri, that I redo the video. Now, we see the Jamaicans come out yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, at the Diamond League. And there is this dichotomy where we are seeing Shacarri versus the Jamaican athletes. And I want to say a few things here. There is some lessons to learn from it. I'm not going to talk too much about the winnings. Congratulations to the Jamaican athletes. But I'm going to say something that I think is far more important than just even talking about what Shacarri has said and what has happened to her in the last few months. One of the things I want to say is, I would tell young people, to be careful of social media and the influencers on social media who will put you up on a pedestal and they will rip you down. I want to also say something to Shacarri that, when it comes to sportsmanship, it's best that you humble yourself. Now, over the years, Jamaica and the United States of America have always been very competitive when it comes to track and field. It goes without saying. And over the years, though, I must say that the American athletes have been very arrogant in their show. Now, I know it's okay to be confident in your skills and your ability, but until Usain Bolt stepped on the stage, things were always this pomp and ceremony with the Americans. And our black brothers and sisters have always had this, not a competitive thing. It almost seemed like there was enmity between the American athletes and the Jamaican athletes. Not on the part of the Jamaicans, but on the part of the Americans. Now, this bravado that we always saw with the Americans, I think when Usain Bolt came on board, I think it was a fresh and a very refreshing approach that people saw and enjoyed. The sportsmanship, the fun, the excitement, the respect. Usain showed respect to his fellow athletes. And, on all the years that he was reigning as a legendary track and field star, we saw that. Now, the women have taken over 2021 in terms of track and field, and the Jamaican women have come out and represented us so well. What I want to say to Shacarri, and I must say condolences to you losing your mother. I want to acknowledge the fact that you might be going through some things in your mental health. And oftentimes when people have you out here wanting you to represent them, they tend to not think of your humanity. They often are thinking about how well you're going to represent them. And I can understand why Shacarri has, come out with all this bravado because of what she's hearing in the media. And someone could take her aside and say, be humble. She ran against Elaine and, Price and the other Jamaicans who have come 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think the valuable lesson for Shacarri to learn now is to be humble. And not to be embarrassed because you spoke and you didn't show the respect that is due to your competitors in the field. It's very important for you as an athlete, Shacarri, to respect everyone on that field who have worked as hard as you have to get there. But because you were here in the media who kind of just gaslight you and told you were going to leave the Jamaicans in the dust, and you started believing that, you were not able to perform to your best. As a person here looking at you as a young sister, I'm just saying to myself, these are the ways in how they have divided our people, and you cannot fall for that. You have to have confidence in your ability, yes, but you have to have respect for your other sisters in the world. When I see black people, 9 black women standing on that field representing different countries. All I see are women because I'm a woman, and all I see are black women because I'm a black woman too. And therefore, in my eyes, black people are doing well. They're winning. So I'm not going to take sides and just bash this young lady. I'm just going to encourage her to say, stay humble. And remember, the very ones that put you up on a pedestal are also the same ones to drag you down. And it's best that you remain humble, because in this line or field of work that you're in, understand that people are always going to come and put their best efforts out because they want to win too. You want to win and they want to win, and all of you on that field have worked very hard to be here. Okay? And what is required is humility. I think if anything came from that, is not the fact that you came last. Is the fact that you would have learned a valuable lesson, hopefully, learn a valuable lesson to respect others that are in the same, competition. You have confidence in yourself, but you still know that the other persons that are there running with you are worthy components. And so the Jamaicans came out and they dominated. And, people were telling you, Shacarri, to leave them in the dust. And in essence, they left you there. Now, I don't want you to feel embarrassed. I don't want to perpetuate the division between African people around the world. I don't want to do that. And the media does highlight these things and try to point out these differences that we sometimes have, not realizing, or we are not realizing, that we shouldn't allow that to happen to us. The Jamaicans are a force to be reckoned with. Never underestimate Jamaica or Jamaicans when it comes to anything that they set their mind to. And if you see a certain pattern, for example, with Elaine, dominating in the Olympics that just passed, and this is not a one-time situation. She did that in the last Olympics. Respect her abilities, even as you seek respect from them. Now, you didn't do very well in this, and you have a lot to learn from it. And I'm sure you're going to practice and return stronger and better. I can only, wish you all the best in that endeavor. I want to say big up to Shelly and Fraser Price. People are not really taking a closer look at her situation. She has dominated all these years. And if you know, our legend has retired and she was running in the same time he was running. And therefore, that is a big thing that she's continuing to perform so well with people who are younger than her. Not to forget the fact that she also had a baby and came back in peak form. So big up yourself, Shelly. Bless up yourself, to all our athletes, those who from the beginning to the very end, from 1, 2, 3, 4, you have stood out there as powerful women that I admire. Listen, remember, with everything that's going on, there's always a need to create a kind of distraction. And when this distractions is centered around African people or black people, as we call ourselves, I'm not for it. I'm not about the divide and rule. I'm not about, targeting any other black person. I'm not here for it. And so if this young lady, was arrogant or came across as someone who, was very cocky, we understand that sometimes young people, they make mistakes and they present themselves in a way when they have certain things behind them or people egging them on to behave a particular way. If she had won, they wouldn't have had any problem with the way she was behaving. But now that she lost, that's why you hear all of this. And as I said, Shacarri, just all the best. And I say blessings to all the Jamaican athletes. Big up yourselves. We love you all. You always represent us so well. And we are grateful for all that you're doing for yourself and for your country. Once again, I'm not about the divide and rule situation. I say bless up to all our athletes. Bless up to those 9 women who stood on that field and ran their best effort on that day. It worked out for some. For some, you're going to have to try again. Big up the Jamaican athletes. Bless up yourself, everybody. Stay blessed.